Okay, we're into the open and reminding traders to take appropriate risk, use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing. E for eminywizard.com and marketwizards.com, and it is just after the open on the 26th. The expectation is that we have morning after trend day, but that the lows will hold. They may not, but that's my expectation right now. And we're looking at yesterday's low, this 94.5 to 95. This is the key resistance probably early today to the gap. And you can see we're hunting the middle back in here at that 89.5. Anybody who's shorting, my advice is think whack-a-mole, meaning that these are not solid drives to go another 20 points lower. If they are, they are, and we'll know that, and you can always jump back in. So get on the scoreboard first is my advice. Traders from yesterday are trapped, and they are trying to get off the hook. Perhaps before the day is over, it'll be reverse of that, but I'm going to think neutrally. And I'm looking at key ideas here that we talked about. We're just going to put a line or two here and there just to point those ideas out. This is where traders got trapped. So that area, big resistance for now. And the dynamics of today's trade, you have to think that we've come a long way, so you have the right to hit a bounce. The question is, those bounces, will they have legs or not? And I'm not sure that they're going to. Sometimes the problem is that the trade you really want, you missed overnight, and now you try too hard on that trade. Just chatting with my wife for a minute, the next door neighbor, we had noticed there was some garbage on the ground next door. Turns out the lady next door went out about 20 after 4 last night with her dog and found a bear out there going through the garbage. My goodness. So I'm going to sleep through the night. Not sure whether that's an omen for today's trade or not. What can I say? Anyways, let's take a look at what we've got here. Remember when I said make sure you're paid by 87.5, 88 pre-market after the news came out? This is one way to see these smaller zones, and this is playing out pretty nicely right now. It won't all day long, obviously, but for now, that's kind of a box that we're in. So we still need to pay attention to 88, 87.5, just like pre-market. Don't forget, the scene of the crime we had talked about was at 85.5. So basically, this is a retest of that. And this formation, I don't want to think of this as a bearish formation. It could be, but I've seen these patterns before. We really need to play out some time and some swings. And we're obviously a bit ahead of ourselves on the short side, but these legs below us are all important. And if we take these out, then we open the door to a different pattern. It could be a head up here and a shoulder over here and a shoulder over here, but it's too early to tell. So it's a range trade idea. Good morning. Zeke, have you posted half gap for our traders? $94.25. Thank you very much. Great teamwork. There's our area that we said should be important for now. Paid for sure into that half gap zone. And great trade if you took it in the direction of a contra to this big move. There's a contra for sure. And this is what we call the Z pattern. Because you have a location and then you go up and then you come through it and then you bounce back towards that. So typically the first time back to that location, you want to think about that as resistance. And there's your Z. Z for Zeke. Think small, guys. Those of you who like profile, set on a 15-minute basis. Look where the 88s are showing up. Look where the 94s are. And obviously this 91 to 92 area, which should be important. And so far, we still have whack-a-mole, right? Ever since the overnight low, we've been making higher highs, higher lows. But we're running into the double top territory, so it's probably going to take some time. $95s, 85 and a quarter. 95 demon, 85 and a quarter angel. Entries, stall. This is a retest zone, right, for this break right here. And then hold the angel overnight, bounce, test the demon. I'm expecting a fairly muted range ahead of Powell. Yep. Very tiny, right? Right out of the block, Mike. Right there. And then this guy. And this is a reset of the angel because the low was taken out. But never, still, you can see that 85 area was the key. 85 to 82 support zone typically. And I think we do have the right to hit bounces today. I just don't know how much legs they're going to have. And even on marginal lows, if we take out the low, be very careful on marginal lows. Sometimes we get near targets like that big 2812 and a half. And then sometimes the boys know, and they have to go back and trap some shorts and squeeze them again to make headway. It's not just all this rah-rah buying up here. That's part of the idea of it too. I've got 90 as our middle of the angels and demons. Reminder about news coming out. As expected, this 95 zone, first resistance, does it have legs is the question. Nobody knows. Not me, not you, not anybody. Think small for now. Get on the scoreboard. And I've got the middle back here at 89.75, let's call it. And this is still whack-a-mole. Range type trading ahead of news. And if you take a look at your 5 You can see the influence so far of the green line coming down. And again, I say we're ahead of ourselves. Anybody playing with yesterday's trend? Stops down coming into 90 to 89.75. These traders were beat yesterday, and they've been skinned a bit. So this is a trade in that direction of the trap traders. And this is what I would consider to be a soft morning after trend day, because we really did have a reversal, especially when you consider the overnight range. But we're still inside this larger range, so that's why I'm considering it neutral. You can have the right to hit it, but it's probably going to be whack-a-mole. Anybody got the half cap? Good for you. Great trade. Any second entries? Think about timing right now with news coming out. My suggestion, be conservative. Grab a couple and spread them out throughout the day. Try to get your VIG. And I'm guessing that there's probably at least 50-50 low is in already. And if not, then so be it. My advice at news is to be flat and when people are talking and then react. Try to grab a couple points here and there.